Hi team, how are we all? I am mad. You don't often see me mad, I'm usually smiley, happy Sandy, but I've been away for quite a lot of this week and I came home and had an email requesting that I went for an interview today. And the interview read that they wanted to speak to inspiring women and that they thought I fitted the bill. So I'm always happy to do things like this because I think it's really important that as women stick together, and anyone who's inspiring anyone in my book is doing the right thing. So off I toddled along, thinking to myself, I wonder what they're going to speak about. Of course, they'll touch on the accident, as they always do, but there have already been probably 15 different publications on that, so it's surely going to be something different. Maybe it will be the published book I have, perhaps. If they're going back a year or so, maybe they'll want to talk about the fact that I was a female mind coach to a First Division football team and just how that was being a woman working in a very male-dominated sport. Possibly it could be that. Maybe they're talking about the work I'm doing in Egypt at the moment, or maybe my impending trip to Dubai, or maybe some of the work that I've done here in the UK. So I was quite excited and was thinking about everything that I could say to give them a really good, easygoing interview. This is how it went. Hi Sandy, thanks for coming along. Now, it's my understanding that 10 years ago you had a horrific fall and fractured your spine, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. That must have been a horrible time for you. Can you tell me a little about that? Yeah, well, it was a tough time, but, you know, people have been through worse and it wasn't great, but I came back from it and probably it's made me the person I am today. But isn't it true that it broke your marriage as well as your back? Yes, that's true. How was that? That must have been really hard. Yeah, it wasn't a great time, but, you know, it's all character building stuff. But wasn't it true, as well as having a broken back and your husband leaving you, you had to sell your car and sell your horses and start again? You can imagine by this time I'm feeling fabulous about myself. I said, yeah, that's all true. Waited for another question. So, just how long did it take you to get back in the saddle? Sandy, this is my cue. Well, actually, I was back in the saddle within 12 months. Journalist completely ignored me. Can you tell me just how many bones did you break in your body? I said, well, you know, I broke 4, fractured some discs, but I'm so delighted with my recovery and I was very lucky, had some fantastic support. And as I say, I was back in the saddle within a month and tried to tell them about my journey to the career I have now. Did he want to listen? Absolutely not. Can you tell me, Sandy, just how sore was it? Sorry, what? I said, you know, I don't really want to discuss that. I'm quite happy to talk about things that have happened in my past. I'm quite happy to tell everybody that my marriage broke down, and another that he obviously didn't know about, but that's one just for you guys. But he didn't want to touch on the fact that I married the man of my dreams. He didn't want to touch on the fact that I'm a successful businesswoman working in a career I absolutely adore and have clients across the globe. He didn't want to touch on the fact that I have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter. He did want to talk about the fact that it was a possibility I could never have a child, though. By this point, I just thought, you know what? With everything I've learned and with everything that I teach everybody else, I ain't doing this. I'm not going to sit here and let somebody pull me back into the past. Because that's what our mind does. If you think about it, the bad stuff's always easier to believe, isn't it? And it would be easy for me to say, God, yeah, you know, you're right, I did have that fall. I must have been a terrible rider. It must have been my fault. Perhaps I shouldn't ever ride again. Oh, you're right, actually, my husband did dump me dramatically. So I must be absolutely unlovable as well. And if he didn't want me, then nobody's ever going to want me. And I lost my house and I lost my car and I had to sell my horses, so I must be a complete failure. And it's really easy to get into that cycle. So I was like, ain't no way, sorry, are you doing this to this chick? Instead, I want to look back and think, a lot's happened to me in the past few years. I have overcome a lot and instead focus on the success that I've had, the achievements that I've had, and the character building experiences that I've had, and instead focus on the people I work with and the people that I help, and look back and you think, you know, everything does happen for a reason. And there isn't really anything that's happened to me that I would change for all the world, apart from maybe a couple of dodgy dates and maybe 1 or 2 proposals that I said yes to. But we all get there in the end. So don't let yourself do that. Don't let yourself go back to that place and start believing all the stuff, the bad stuff that seems easiest to be true, because it isn't true. It's just a thought. And instead, focus on the good stuff. Remember it the way other people would see it quite often. And you'll start to find that actually the good stuff is as easy to believe. So I'm not going to wallow. I am fed up with people who want to live in the past and drag themselves down. But if you're not that person, if you want to sparkle in the saddle this year, if you want to get rid of anything that's holding you back and start to feel really, really good about yourself and believe in yourself and be the person and achieve everything that you want to achieve, you can absolutely do it. And I will absolutely be here 100% every single step of the way to help you. So take care. I hope you're safe in this horrible blustery weather. My cabin feels like I'm an extra from the Yellow Brick Road. So I'm going to go get my red sparkly slippers out and click my heels 3 times, make sure Toto and crew are okay. And until then, oh, hi everybody. Thought you would all be in working hours. But until I speak to you again, take very best care and look out for my impending Do You Want to Sparkle in the Saddle. Bye.